Hello, everyone, and happy Friday. My name is Herb Catania, one of the co-founders at My Virtual Bookkeeper. And today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about return on investment, or ROI, as the cool kids like to say. We get a lot of questions on this, right? How do you calculate ROI? What's the best ROI in my business? And so I'm going to give you some of my thoughts around that. And the first thing is, how do you calculate ROI? Well, basically, what you're going to do, ROI, you always want to calculate off of the gross revenue that's generated from the dollars that you invested. And so that's just it. Take whatever the gross revenue is. So if I invested $5 into internet advertising and it generated $10 in gross revenue, then I would take that gross revenue, I would divide it by the dollars that I invested in it, right? So $10 divided by 5 would be 2, right? So that would mean that I had a 2-to-1 return on investment on those dollars that I invested, right? Not super great, and as we'll cover in just a second, not the minimum return on investment that we would recommend. And so, what is the minimum return on investment? Well, there's a lot of different opinions on this. Um, I'm not necessarily going to say what your minimum return on investment should be in terms of, is it 10 to 1? Is it 4 to 1? Um, you can pick a number that sounds best for you. But what I would say the absolute minimum should be is a 3-to-1 in return on investment. And here's my reason why, right? So if you were getting a 3-to-1 return on investment, that would mean that a third of that would cover the actual dollars that you invested. So you at least broke even there. But then a third of that also went to cover your tax liability from that revenue, right? So, and then that would leave a third over in actual profit for that. So that's my thought on that. I'm sure I'll get lots of comments and disagreements on that, and that's okay. I welcome all of it. So, minimum 3-to-1 investment. Not saying that's the recommended return on investment because I would certainly shoot for higher than that. But any dollars that you're investing in your business, you want to make sure you're at least getting that so that you can pay your taxes and that you're covering the dollars that you invested. Good? Great. All right. Now, there's something else to consider around your return on investment that I always like to look at with people, and that is what is the ramp up time, right? If we're going to be investing dollars into something, how long are we willing to give it before we start to see that return on investment? One of the biggest things that I see is that people don't have that discussion on the front end. And so we end up in this sort of purgatory with dollars that we've invested where we're saying, well, we're just not using it. Or if we used it, then we would start seeing results. Or it's gonna take time before we start seeing it. But we've never actually set a definitive amount of time. So my recommendation would be any dollars that you're investing, make sure that you're clear. What's the expected ROI? Is that 3-to-1? Is that something higher? And also, how long before we expect to get that, right? Is that going to be 6 months because we're expecting that there's going to be some learning time in there, or we're expecting that it's going to take time before we're able to convert leads that we're getting, right? So set a specific ramp up time and set a clear expectation on what that ROI is going to be. All right. So that is return on investment. That's how you calculate it. That's how you think about the ramp up time. And if you like this video, if this was helpful, make sure you like the video and post a comment. We'd love to hear if this was helpful. And if you got other video ideas, let's hear them. So with that, we'll see you all on the next one.